infinity and back again. I'm to them. Young dog and talking. You know once in the shine, don't vex when you get married. Me nah make trouble stress my brain. Cut checks me, I cut to the chase. Star never second hand, never second hand, never stopping for a second, talking up on the line. Look a jump and sound, I go try and make statements. Don't test my patience.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix. You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Knee-jerk Sunday. Game Week 6 is done, and we're going to look ahead to Game Week 7. I have had an absolutely awful FPL Game Week. I've literally got 2 returns, and one of them was a goal from Haaland, which just dropped me rank because I hadn't captained him. The other one was 1 assist from Gross. Otherwise, everybody else blanked. Everybody else blanked. Big in the back is dead once again. It keeps dying. It may resurrect again this week. But it was bad. And the weird thing is I quite like my team. So I'm not even really that panicked, to be honest with you. Because for next week it looks kind of alright. I've got 2 free transfers. Just one of those weeks, right? Rashford smashing it. Trippier did really well. Fair play if you went Newcastle over Brighton defence. Because that's worked out really well. I could do with Trippier right now. Probably not for next week, though. Time to sell Salah. I hate to break it to you people. I'm probably going to captain Salah next week. I know. But I'm probably going to do it. And it's not even like a stubborn thing. I just think this week out of the last 3 weeks is the easiest week to captain Salah. So I'm probably not going to sell him because I'm going to captain him. Maybe. Anyway, I'm not fully locked in, for sure. I think it would be really nice if Thiago was back, I think. I don't know. I'm undecided. Probably going to go again, though. Probably going to go again with Salah captain. Oh, he hit the post. He hit the post from a Diaz assist. Oh, not. It would have been amazing, right? Shoulder assist, 98th minute, the previous game. In off the post, goal, 95th minute this week would have been amazing, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Must be a stubborn thing based on this season alone. You would not captain him, surely. Yeah, but it's look, and that's very easy to say right now. And I get it. Haaland's brilliant. Captain him against Spurs at home. I'm not going to try and talk people out of it for sure. But things change quickly, right? Salah's not suddenly a bad player. Things are definitely not going right at Liverpool. I do think the midfield probably is a little bit of a problem. I think the midfield is way more of an issue than this whole he's playing super, super wide all the time that people keep saying. But that's it. It's Wolves at home, and Haaland's got Spurs at home, and I feel like that is just a much harder fixture. Spurs at home. Man City will probably score. I'm sure Haaland will get 1. I'm just hoping Salah can get more. That's it, really. I'm not trying to talk everyone else into it. If you all want to captain Haaland, captain Haaland. It's your team. You don't like. If you think I'm going to get it wrong, happy days. Go against it, right? I think I'll captain Haaland in game week 8 though. Not game week 9 because Man United are going to keep him out, of course. But game week 8, yeah, happy days. Salah won't get more. Then don't captain him. I don't know. There's nothing more I can say on it. I'm going to captain him. Doesn't mean you have to, right? As I say, like it's very easy to be absolutely sure Salah's now done as an option because he's blanked a couple of times or not scored for a couple of games. But it's a home game against Wolves. I mean, Wolves' defence has been all right, to be fair. Like I said, I'm not fully locked into it, but I'm probably going to go for it. I think it's fairly likely. Because if you look at my team for next week, I mean, Haaland probably will score. So maybe I should just go for him. But it's between Salah and Haaland. I'm not going to go for Jesus. I said that last week, that Jesus just not really an option for captaincy for me. And that's fine, yeah. If you don't think he's done, but he's a better captain, that he's not as good a captain as Haaland, Captain Haaland. Like I'm not trying to talk you out of it at all. Like, if you were saying I'm going to captain Gross instead of Salah, then I'd be like, you're crazy. But sure, go ahead, Captain Haaland. like I said, it's your team. I'm going to captain Salah. Probably anyway. Nick, do I like Kukurea to Zinchenko this game week to target Everton? I just don't think it's a very good time to bring in Arsenal players. Like, he's good for this week, and if it's a short-term move, then great. But then it's Brentford away. Then they've got like Spurs, Chelsea, and Liverpool, or Spurs. Is it Spurs, Man City, and Liverpool? Yeah, Spurs, Liverpool, Man City in the next 4 game weeks. You ain't going to want a defender for them. So I don't know if it's the right time to bring in Arsenal, to be honest with you. I've got no interest in wildcarding this week. 0, to be honest with you. Next week, possibly. Game week 8 instead of game week 9 could happen. I need to figure out exactly when I'm wildcarding, because it will change my thoughts on what transfers to do. Salah captains the hill. I'm going to die. Yeah, I mean, look, Nottingham Forest, mistake. This week, okay, but fair enough. Like, he did get a goal. Salah hit the post. Next week, I just think it's an even harder fixture. For me, this is like the easiest week to choose Salah captain. Nottingham Forest, like, was really close Haaland. Last week was really close Haaland. This week, I'm kind of fairly set on Salah, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Could change my mind. Gross captain over Salah doesn't sound too bad. I mean, Gross did play very well today. No way. Super chat from Martin. I benched Salah so I could play Tony. Had a gut feeling. No way did you bench Salah for Tony. That is ridiculous. Is big at the back and big in attack a potential approach 5-2-3? Yes, possibly. Yeah. I think most people accept now that 3 forwards is probably needed going forward. I don't necessarily think big at the back is done, though. I think when you start trying to put I gotta be honest, I've started putting a wildcard team together. It just doesn't look nice at all. I've still got to do it because I've got to target those fixtures, but I'm not completely happy with the team that you have to put out. Jesus' price is about to drop. Is it really? You can't get rid of him before Everton. How much has he actually gone up? Oh, he's only gone up to 8.2 as well, so we'll lose any selling value on him. I guess he was so highly owned, wasn't he? So, yeah, he's going to go down in price. Madness. You forgot to click wildcard and took a minus 36 points hit while being 200k. That is a rookie mistake, and I feel sorry for you. That sucks. Shakalaka Mekaleka. Slogfest of an FPL season. Keep slogging away. I don't know, it hasn't really felt like much of a slogfest. A bore fest for some time. But at least now, you know, people are starting to diverge in different players and stuff like that. I did say from game week 6 onwards that would happen. So I think it is a bit more interesting now. Matej, thank you. Thoughts on Ward-Prowse and Trossard? Trossard's nice. Ward-Prowse I can just never get excited by whatsoever. Like, whatsoever. 1 goal, 1 assist so far. Difficult fixtures, I guess, but not interested in him at all. Took a punt on Rodrigo to Rashford. Very nice. Had a feeling about a high line from Arsenal and Ten Hag's confidence in him. Brought me out 1 million places from 2.7 to 1.7. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Martial is fit, because Martial will almost certainly play number 9. Like, he is just better at that position than Rashford. I don't think there's any coincidence that both Rashford's goals came when he went to the left. Obviously, he did get an assist when he was playing number 9, but no goals. And it was just better when we were playing on the counter then in the second half a bit more. So when Martial plays 9, I don't know who's going to play on the left, whether it'll be Sancho or Rashford. I feel like it will be Sancho, but then I don't know. Like, Rashford's just probably a little bit more of a goal threat. I guess Sancho scored a couple already. I think minutes will be an issue, but until Martial's back, I don't think you've got to worry about Rashford at all. I think Crystal Palace away, Leeds at home, I'd definitely be keeping him. Just keep an eye out to see if he's injured, I guess. Chris, 2 free chances of Salah, Kane, Haaland. Rest of the team is decent. Walker and Neto to Trippier in a 5 million mid, maybe Almiron, Bailey or Elliott. I'd be going for Bailey, to be honest. Excuse me. Like, he's dropped to 4.7, and he's got 2 starts in a row. The fixtures are pretty good soon for Villa. Yeah, I would probably go for Bailey right now. But Leon Bailey might be on my wild card. Possibly. Palace will beat Man United. Yeah, I know. Everyone says that every single week. Arsenal will beat Man United. Leicester will beat Man United. Southampton will beat Man United. And yet they keep on winning. Sell Kane, Rodrigo, Cancelo for Salah, Mitrovic, Walker. I think you only, if you've got Haaland, you only sell Kane to Salah if you're going to captain him, I think. Because Kane's got Leicester at home in game week 8. Salah's away to Chelsea. Like, it's not... Well, we know how Chelsea have defended so far, but it's not an amazing fixture. So selling Kane, Rodrigo and Cancelo for Salah, Mitrovic and Walker this week just doesn't sound great to me, to be honest. And also, Walker might be injured. So, no, I don't like that. Kulusevski out this game week or saving for Leicester in game week 8. Yeah, I mean, Richarlison's obviously... But we can see now, Richarlison's going to take minutes off that front 3, either from starts or coming on off the bench as well. Like, he stayed on when Kane went off, for example, so Kane could get rested. So you could take him out. I think this week we got Champions League, right? I wouldn't know because I'm a Man United fan. Champions League this week. So I think don't make any rash transfers. Don't make any RASHFORD transfers. That's such an awful joke. Wait until Europe just to see if we can get any kind of pattern or idea for who might get rested the game after. But Kulusevski could be a sell, yeah. I think Leicester is a good week, good game, of course. It's Man City in between. Perisic replacements, I'm thinking Fofana. Fofana's okay, but he's got Liverpool in game week 8. So if you're wildcarding in game week 8 or 9, I probably just wouldn't buy Fofana right now. I'd maybe look at him afterwards. If you've already used your wildcard, then Fofana's a good long-term pick, yeah. So the reason I've got Cucurella on the bench is because I'm not 100% sure if he's going to start. The thing is, Chilwell is, I think, clearly a better... Chilwell's got more points than Cucurella, by the way. He already had more points before he even scored the goal and got the assist. He's a better attacking wing-back. But even though he came on and did really well, Tuchel still took time to mention that his fitness is not where it should be, basically. And that Chilwell thinks he's ready and Tuchel doesn't think he's ready. And ultimately, the only opinion that's really going to matter is Tuchel, especially when you've got Cucurella there. So although I'm worried about a benching soon, I don't actually know if it's going to happen. So I'm going to keep an eye on what happens in Europe, whether or not Cucurella plays, and then how many more minutes Chilwell gets, what Tuchel says about Chilwell as well. Because he's been quite clear that he doesn't think he's fit. So I think when he does think he's fit, I think he'll say that in a press conference. But that's why I've got him on the bench. But I don't think you can buy Chilwell. I just think he's taken till like game week 7 already. Tuchel's still saying he's not fit. I just think he's going to have too many games where he just comes off early, comes on as a sub. Cucurella is still there. He's going to take minutes off him. So I don't think we can go for Chilwell, to be honest. Let's discuss Robertson. What do you want to know? I think my opinion on Robertson is pretty much the same as the last few weeks. If you want to sell him to a cheaper defender, to use that money for another move, go for it. If you've got other fires to put out, Robertson at home to Wolves is probably fine, right? Would you consider choosing a Man United defender? Probably not, to be honest, right now. Crystal Palace away, Leeds at home. What's the fixtures after that? Man City away, Everton away, Newcastle. I guess this next set of 5 are okay. Then it's Spurs at home, Chelsea away. I don't think I'm ready to go for a Man United defender just yet. If I was going to go for one, I'd probably go for Dallo, though. Bring in Anthony for Diaz, 1 week punt before wildcard. Yeah, possibly in game week 8, I think a 1 week punt on a Man United player, Leeds at home, isn't that bad. I would just keep an eye on it. If you're going to do a 1 week, if it's a 1 week punt in game week 7, Crystal Palace away is probably not quite as punt worthy as Leeds in game week 8. The good thing about Leeds as well is you get to see another week of Anthony, because look, I don't think he's going to be like this massive goal scorer for us whatsoever. But he did come off before 60 minutes. I say his fitness probably isn't quite up there, Like, I don't think he's trained or played matches for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. Apart from like the few days he's been at been at Man United. So I probably wouldn't go from game week 7. Which Newcastle player would you most want? I think the only 3 I would even look at are Pope, Trippier, and Isak. That's it, basically. I think Isak's a really nice punt in game week 8 for Bournemouth at home. The problem is Mitrovic has also got Nottingham Forest away, albeit away. It would probably be better if it was at home. So he's also a really good option in game week 8. And then can you really lose Jesus before Brentford away? Maybe, maybe not. And you got to keep Haaland. So getting Isak and Mitrovic, you probably only got to get one or the other. I personally wouldn't go near Anthony just yet. Maybe a punt in game week 8, but I don't think you need to start spending 7.5 million on him just yet. Why was Trent bought off at 58 minutes? Also, Mendy out. Mendy, man. Yeah, you could sell Mendy if you got a free transfer for a goalkeeper. But I think Fulham away is probably not priority out. I mean, Mitrovic will cause them problems for sure. But you could sell him. Why was Trent bought off at 58 minutes? I think Klopp just said they've played a lot of minutes and they've got players on the bench in Tsimikas and Milner, I guess. That was it, basically. I don't think he's injured or anything. Sterling Fulham away captain thoughts. Nice differential. Yeah. I mean, can't be any worse than Salah, right? The way things are going right now. I've watched every Liverpool game. Captain Salah is not worth it. So many problems tactically. And sure, I can see it. I can see it for sure. So don't captain him. Captain Haaland. A lot of people, I did a poll the other day on Twitter. A lot of people are just captaining Haaland from here all the way to the World Cup. No questions. Who's my favourite Brighton midfielder? Yeah, I don't want to knee-jerk to Trossard. I still quite like Gross. I kind of like them both, to be honest. I do like the money saving on Gross, though. I'm still not sure about McAllister. He's had a couple of penalties now. Really good free kick, to be fair. He did score an absolute banger that was ruled out because of offside. Fair enough. But he's not going to get you many open play returns, I don't think. So you're kind of relying on those penalties, I think, a bit. Haaland doesn't go to the World Cup. Correct, yeah. Bruno Fernandes in a wild card. Nah, it's too much money. It's just too awkward to fit in. Bruno Fernandes is a 1-week punt in game week 8, selling Salah before Chelsea. Maybe. Maybe. When you're activating free hit, can you do one transfer, activate, and then have free transfers till the deadline? Yes, but I wouldn't use your free hit this early, probably. Cancelo and Archer to Dallo and Tony with 2 free transfers this week. Can then move to 4-3-3 or 3-4-3 with Dallo on the bench and play Gross. Yeah, it's probably okay to have Tony instead of Cancelo. I think Man City defence has been a little bit unlucky with the amount of returns it's got. Like, if you look at their expected goals conceded, I don't know if this week's have updated, but Infogol had it down at 0.26 for Aston Villa, which is really low. Like, Man City defence has just been brilliant, as it usually is. And obviously playing against Spurs is tough. Oh yeah, they've updated it now. Hang on. Why can't I see... Oh. Yeah, their expected goals conceded so far is 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.4, and then 1.8 against Newcastle, who did really well against them, to be fair. So their defence has been stupidly good so far. How many goals have they actually conceded? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 1 per game. Obviously, 3 of them came against Newcastle. I feel like they've been a bit unlucky. I wouldn't really go out of my way to sell Cancelo. I guess it's a bit easier to do it this week because he's playing Spurs at home, and I haven't completely ruled it out. I've looked at Cancelo down to Trippier, I think, and then Diaz down to a Man United midfielder in game week 8. and Greenwood to Mitrovic. But I don't know. I still don't know about selling Cancelo. Even against Spurs. Is Tony captain totally outrageous next week? I mean, Tony captain does feel a little bit knee-jerk. I'll be honest with you. And he hasn't got Leeds at home this week. He's got Southampton away, which, to be fair, is a good fixture. I think the thing with, before you go nuts on Tony, like not one good goal, but one goal from open play. I think the other two were penalty, one free kick, right? So look, great free kick. How often he can do that going forward, we'll have to wait and see. And then penalty, we already knew he was on penalties anyway. So I think he's a good pick, but I don't think he's suddenly, after a hat-trick, must own or anything like that. I think Southampton away, though, is a pretty good fixture. And then, who else they got after that? Brentford. Yeah, I mean, they've got pretty nice fixtures, right? Arsenal at home. Bournemouth away is nice. Newcastle away, Brighton. I mean, I just don't necessarily like this little run here. I guess these three, even Arsenal, even Newcastle away is going to be tough. I think the thing with Tony, one thing I would say on him, though, even though this run's probably a little bit tough, you can probably just keep him for all this run, right up until game week 16, where maybe you sell him before Man City away. Like, he's pretty set and forget. I think for a lot of people, unless you want to go for like an £8 million midfielder on wildcard, a lot of people, the only decision really, or one of the decisions for wildcard is going to be Haaland plus Mitrovic plus one of Tony or Isak. That's what a lot of people are going to be looking at. And it could be that Tony's the better one. Yeah, Jesus captain, I don't know. I still don't feel that comfortable captaining him ahead of Salah. Like, I said this last week, right? It's very difficult for a forward to get a big haul without a hat trick. I guess Jesus could be involved with assists and stuff, but I just feel like if I'm wavering over even captaining Haaland ahead of Salah, then I'm just not going to go for Jesus. But he has got a good fixture. I will play Cucurella if I think he's going to start. I will probably take Dunk out. But it just depends. And also, Cucurella has Liverpool at home in Game Week 8, so I might sell him. No, I got no interest in Darwin Núñez, to be honest. Not yet. Just because, like, he's a little bit extra money to get in, so I've got to find $1 million from somewhere, which I could do for sure. I could just sell Cucurella or Dunk down to a cheap defender, then Luis Diaz to Núñez, etc. But I just think Jota's back now. Firmino's there as well. There's going to be... I think it's very good that he came straight in that last game. I think that does show like he is first choice right now. But I just still don't know if it's worth paying that extra money for him. Personally. Studious Student, thank you very much for becoming a member. Ish. Saliba, Andreas, Dunk on the bench boost. I probably wouldn't bench boost that. You'll probably have a better bench later on. Better bench later on. Darwin instead of Salah, maybe. Like I said it on Twitter, right? And I wasn't trying to be like, I don't know, is flippant the right word? I don't know, but I put like serious thing. If you genuinely think that Salah is now not good enough and you're not going to captain him, you can definitely consider selling him. I think the problem is most people don't want to spread the money around, so they want to go to a different premium. De Bruyne maybe could be an option. Son possibly. You can't really go to Kane, and the reason is you've got Haaland. If you have Kane, it means you can only have one more forward, and the difference from last year is we all want forwards now. So you miss out on someone like Mitrovic. Well, you can have one more, right? So you can have Haaland, Kane, and Mitrovic, but then you can't have Isak, you can't have Tony, and any other forwards that become viable. So I think selling Salah to Kane is just not great, I don't think. So you've really got to trust Son, who is going to have minutes reduced going forward, I think. Not like I think he's going to start more often than not, but Richarlison's going to get minutes on that left side at times. And the other one's De Bruyne. Maybe you can make a case for him, but you already know my opinions on De Bruyne as a premium. So I almost feel like people should just keep Salah even if they don't want to captain him, just in case he does pick up some points and you suddenly change your mind about captaincy, or until one of the other premiums like you really want to go for. I think you could downgrade him to like an £8 or £9 million player, then upgrade a different player to like eight or 9 million. So you can have, instead of Salah and Gross, you could have like 2 8 million mids or what? Probably not 8 million mids right now, but you know what I'm saying, right? Hopefully you're getting the point I'm trying to make badly. Yeah, my move right now, if I don't go for the Man United midfielder in game week 8, will probably be Cucurella to Trippier, but I'm going to bench Trippier if I do that, I think. But I'll play Trippier in game week 8. Is it just completely stupid not to have Haaland at this point? I never want to say that something is stupid, but I would say it's not great. Probably not to have Haaland. He's just ridiculous. And I think all that stuff, like I said last week about Haaland, the minutes thing, right? So when the game's won, he comes off. When it's not, he stays on, like against Newcastle. Exact same thing happened against Villa, right? The game wasn't won. They weren't chasing, right? They didn't have it out of sight, so he stayed on. And that does seem like a bit of a pattern. So the problem you've got as a non-owner, if he goes off, the game's won, which means they've probably scored 2, 3, 4 goals and he's probably involved. And if the game's going badly, he's not coming off, so he's got even more time to try and get a goal. It just doesn't feel like... I mean, it's bad enough not captaining him. It's even worse not to own him. I'm glad that Kane owners didn't get punished this week, because I think it was the right decision to keep him for Fulham. But going forward, it is very difficult to justify not having Haaland, to be honest with you. He just looks a threat all the time. And he's just massive. He's just absolutely... Not only is he quick, he's massive. It's very hard to fend him off. Like, the leap for the De Bruyne goal, like... He's just ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. What's your biggest mistake this season, in your opinion? I mean, the only regrets I got are the moves I made that didn't get me more points, right? So selling Sanchez to Ederson, that didn't get me points. Obviously, not captaining Haaland the last 2 game weeks, but I don't think I've necessarily made a massive mistake. I think buying Gross was maybe a mistake, although he did get me an assist this week, and James wouldn't have got me that. So I am now probably even on points for that. But I think last week I should have just bought Dunk for James and played him, or Andreas, and not got Gross. Then I could have got James back this week, rolled the transfer, and next week I could do, and I would have done that for Gabriel, and then, this week I could have done Luis Diaz to Saka. I think Saka at Everton at home is probably a little bit better than Diaz, but not by a huge amount. But I don't think I've made like a massive mistake, really. I know people obviously say not captaining Haaland against Nottingham Forest is like criminal, but look, there was reasons for that, and I would definitely say that was a mistake. But I don't really regret it. I don't think I've really put too much of a foot wrong so far. Salah dropping in price. Wow, he's actually going to drop below his starting price. Yeah, I have 3 Arsenal, but that's what I'm saying. If I'd gone James last week because I didn't get Gross, or James this week, I would have sold Gabriel to get James back, so I wouldn't have 3 Arsenal. Yes, I've got 3 Arsenal now. I'm saying that my mistake was getting Gross, because once I got Gross, I couldn't get James back, and if I did get James back, it would have been for Gabriel this week in game week 6, just gone, and then in game week 7, I'd only have 2 Arsenal players. Then I could get Saka back in. Honestly, I wouldn't panic too much about price drops, right? If you want to keep Salah, you want to keep Jesus, the fact they're dropping in price shouldn't matter. If anything, that should be a good thing, because that means less people are going to buy them, right? So Salah's been transferred out by 135,000 people. Can't actually see Jesus. And that also might be wrong. Hang on. Yeah, Jesus has been sold by 73,000 people already. And Salah's been sold by nearly 200,000 already this week. My name is not on the members widget. Oh, I'll check that. I'll make sure it's there for the next one. I have to manually update it, so sometimes it doesn't show them all straight away, but I'll sort it for the next one. No worries. It'll be there for the members stream. If you want to sign up to be a channel member, there's a link in the chat. There's a link in the description, or you can click the join button on my YouTube page. And there'll be a members live stream later on this week for game week 7. Is Diego Costa going to Wolves? I saw a rumour about that. I think Klajzic has got a really bad injury already. Oh, here's a poll that I put on Twitter earlier that I want to put in here. So in game week 9, Arsenal start a run of having like Liverpool City and Spurs in 3 out of 4 game weeks. So how many players are you having from game week 9 onwards? I'll put in the thread. I'll put in the poll. Sorry, who they have. Spurs home. They're all at home actually. Liverpool at home. Game week 9 to 12 fixtures. Liverpool at home. Leeds away. Man City at home. So 0, 1, 2, 3. I put that poll in the chat. Yeah, ACL injury, not good. Not good. So harsh as well. First game for your new club. For that to happen. Wild card. Sarr from Wolves. Zinchenko, De Silva, Eto. Is that Neto? Oh, Tony out. Okay. Pope, James, Saliba, Marseille. I wouldn't get Saliba in. Bailey, Mitrovic in. Any definite yes or no? I mean, like, for your team, okay, Sarr's got Liverpool away, not great. But Zinchenko's good for this week. De Silva's just on your bench anyway. You could deal with Neto with your free transfer maybe. And Tony's good for this week as well. So I don't know if you've got massive problems. Pope, James, Saliba, again, I wouldn't go for. Bailey, Mitrovic, okay. But using a wild card to take out Zinchenko before Everton at home, to take out Tony before Southampton away, and bringing in Mitrovic before Chelsea at home. And look, Mitrovic could definitely score in that game, but I don't think it's wild card worthy, to be honest. Cucurella and Cancelo and Trippier plus... Oh, Cucurella and Cancelo to Trippier and Webster, then Mitrovic game week 8. Nice. Is this for me? Or is this for you? I think having a route to Mitrovic is a good idea. Normal Coke or Coke Zero? Coke Zero. Always drink Coke Zero. Does Estupiñán start? I mean, he could do. They did look quite good with Trossard at left wing back, though. So I guess Estupiñán's not going to be completely nailed. It's annoying because we picked Dunk because he's absolutely nailed. Gets a -1 last week and then gets the same points as Estupiñán this week anyway. Sell Salah. Yeah, if you want to sell Salah, sell him, yeah. Kane to Tony. Got Haaland and Jesus, my other forwards. Yeah, Kane to Tony's a good move, yeah. I mean, Kane's got Man City this week. He does have Leicester at home in game week 8, though. That is a really good fixture. Hurling or Gaelic football? Much of a muchness for me, I guess. I don't really watch either. Mac J, thank you very much for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Done Salah to Sterling, like Sterling's fixtures. Nice. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, Sterling. I mean, Sterling could be a nice pick. Obviously, he's got Liverpool at home in game week 8, though. Just kind of remember that. You're not answering questions. That's literally all I'm doing. I haven't thought about Aubameyang at all yet, to be honest. I think they played... the thing with Chelsea, I think they played 3-5-2 against... Who the hell did they play this week? Why can't... Oh, West Ham, yeah, of course. Yeah, they played 3-5-2 instead of 3-4-3. That might be a good thing for Aubameyang. Might mean more minutes. Instead of just having one striker up front. Excuse me. But 9 million. I mean, they do have really nice fixtures. So I'm not completely against Aubameyang, but I don't know if he's going to make my wildcard team, to be honest. It just feels like quite a lot of money when you can get, like, Tony and Isak for, like, 2 million less, nearly. Top 3 players each position now. I mean, forwards seem pretty easy. I think for the next few weeks, it's Haaland, Mitrovic, +1 of Tony or Isak. I think it's probably the way. I don't mind Solanke either at 5.7. I know that's going to sound really knee-jerk because he just got a goal and an assist, but I did say I was considering him over Gross like a couple of weeks ago. And I think his fixtures are pretty good, and for 5.7, it's quite a nice option. My only worry would be with Solanke is how do you upgrade him to someone like Tony or Isak if you need to? That's my main worry. I guess you can think about that down the line. I think defenders, look, on wildcard, I'm telling you now, I'm probably going to have Trent, Cancelo and James. Same as game week 1. Midfield, don't know really. Salah, I still say Salah. I mean, Maddison's got the fixtures. I might keep Martinelli, to be honest. I don't know if he's top 3, though. Zaha's pretty good. None of the current top 10 FPL managers own Salah. Some strange picks too. Yeah, I think the thing about who's at the top right now, obviously they're not going to have players like Salah because Salah's been doing rubbish. They're at the top because they've got all the players that have been doing well. That shouldn't really be the basis on whether you get Salah. Obviously, you should just decide whether you think Salah's going to start getting points soon or not. And if you don't, obviously sell him as well. But yeah. I wouldn't worry about what the people at the top are doing right now. I mean, yeah, like the people at the top are not necessarily going to stay there. They might do, for sure. But it's too early in the season to start worrying about who's at the top and who's not, to be honest. How far behind you are and things like that. Sterling and Tony or Rashford and Kane or Tony and Rashford. I think Sterling and Tony, I think. I like Rashford, but I think Tony is better. Gavin, thank you for very much for becoming a member. PG, Kulusevski and Taylor to Harrison and Tony for a -4 or Mitrovic. I would get Mitrovic, I think. I think Tony is better for this week, so I don't know if I would do that for a -4, by the way, but Tony is better this week, but I think Mitrovic is the better option longer term. I'm not sure about Harrison either. Leeds this week, very good. Nottingham Forest at home. I'm not sure about their players going forward though. ACL injury is Klajcic. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I think I'm close. For Wolves, like they signed him 5.5 million. He got injured first game. I am probably using the wild card in game week 9, but I'm as yet undecided on that. Not completely decided anyway. Who would I bring in for Diaz? Probably Saka, if I could. You've messed up your wildcard and lost 0.2. Have you sold someone that you're then having to bring back? Nottingham Forest aren't pushovers unless you'll see it. I'm telling you now, Nottingham Forest are the worst defence in the league. Now, I can maybe agree to say that Forest and Bournemouth are joint worst defences in the league, but it's nothing to do with Man City. People keep saying that they're expected goals conceded are bad because of Man City. They're bad because they're just really bad. Yes, they were really bad against Man City, but they've been bad against pretty much everyone. Like their expected goals against are 0.9, which is Bournemouth, and Bournemouth have been awful this year. So even 0.9 is not great against Bournemouth. 1.8 against Everton, 2 against Newcastle, 2.1 against West Ham, 2.7 against Spurs, 3.7 against Man City. Now, some of those teams are tough, right? Newcastle are attacking really well at the moment. Spurs and Man City aren't easy. Everton, 1.8. Like, Nottingham Forest are the worst defence in the league, as things stand. I know Forest fans hate hearing that, but I'm just going off the numbers. They might start doing better when they got a few easier teams, but they just conceded 3 to Bournemouth. I mean, to be fair, up until this point, Man United haven't been much better. But they're starting to play better now. Like, so far, interestingly, right, I'll come on to this in a minute, but non-penalty expected goals conceded so far, 2. Crystal Palace, 1.73. But again, they've had pretty tough fixtures. Bournemouth are 1.58. Bournemouth are in 5th, by the way. In the top 5 worst defences so far, Bournemouth, Fulham and Forest are all there, as you would probably expect. It was 0.9, the expected goals for Bournemouth. So to score 3 was maybe a bit lucky, but it's not a good defence. This is why I just... Like, Nico Williams, like I said, was a good player to play this week, because it was Bournemouth at home, good chance of an attacking return, but people like buying Henderson, I just don't get it. Like, he is a good goalkeeper, but you can only do so much when you play in that defence. So I don't... The only way I'll have a Nottingham Forest defender is if I have Nico Williams because he's cheap. I don't even see him making my wildcard team, to be honest. The Leicester defence is pretty bad. Like, Leicester maybe been a little bit unlucky. I'm just having a look now at the numbers, right? So their expected goals conceded is 1.34 per game so far. Now, it doesn't include today's game, I should say that. But before today, it was 1.34. I'm not saying Leicester defence is good, by the way, because it's not. But that's very, like, 1.34. Brentford were 1.28. Leeds 1.25. I mean, Leicester aren't that far behind. But, I mean, however good of a keeper Ward might be, right? Because he's Wales #1, I think. I think they've been a little bit unlucky, Leicester, maybe. A little bit, possibly, the amount of goals. I don't know. I do think the defence is pretty poor. And Ward's just not been good. I think confidence just doesn't look great. He made a couple of good saves today, but remember he flapped at one corner. There was the slanging match he had with Ndidi when he miscontrolled the ball. Like, just not good. Not good. No, I told you, never told you. XG doesn't take into account losing Schmeichel. Yeah, I'm not saying Ward's great by any means. Anyone from Man United for Game Week 7? Probably not. It'd be interesting to see Everson start before wildcard because he's a bit cheaper. Okay, Hennessy's #1. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Ignore the stats usually. Yeah. I just use my eyes. I'm using my eyes to read the data. Again, I'm not saying Leicester defence is good. They were really bad today. I've been targeting them all season, right? That's why I said Kane and Son, Leicester at home, Game Week 8 is a good fixture. I'm just saying, when you try and say they're as bad as Nottingham Forest, not true. Not true. Can we hear your thoughts on best punts for Game Week 7 and 8 before a potential wildcard? I mean, I think Man United Game Week 7. I kind of like the bet. I like punts from Man United. You got Everson bench on wildcard. It'd be such a big call by Rodgers to change the goalkeeper now. I just don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. You never know. I think for Game Week 7 and 8 combined, I don't know if there is really that good. Like, Man United, the problem is they have Crystal Palace away. I guess Crystal Palace away, Leeds at home is not bad. I think Leeds this week... I think there isn't really a team with two really good fixtures that also have punts in the next 2 weeks. So, like, Leeds are nice punts this week, like Sinistera, for example. But then they play Man United away the week after. You could go for a Leicester defence. No, I'm only messing. So I think if I was taking a punt in Game Week 7, it'd probably be on a Leeds attacker. And if I was taking a punt in Game Week 8, it'd probably be on a Man United attacker. That's kind of what I'd be looking at. Anthony transferred in by 165k already. Madness. With all the debt he used, you still captain Salah over Haaland. Oh, man, I can't wait till Salah finally outscores Haaland. The comments are so boring, honestly. I hope it's this week. It'll be amazing. It's funny how well priced Ward ended up being. I know, I was saying he should have been 4.5. And in the end, 4 million is too expensive. When do you think we will get more wildcards? I'm not sure what you mean. You have one wildcard before the World Cup. You have unlimited transfers for the during the World Cup until the game restarts, and then after the World Cup, you have one more wildcard. They are facts. Yeah, sure. Can you explain why you're using wildcard in Game at 9? Just for the fixture swings, really. A couple of the big sides, they start to have poorer fixtures. There's like a few kind of periphery changes that need to make, like Mitrovic. I'll probably get Fofana in, probably get 1 or 2 Newcastle defenders in. There's just a few things to kind of change up. Not a huge amount, to be fair. It's not like it's a complete overhaul, but it's enough to do in Game Week 9. Why 9 and not 10? I mean, you'd have to tell me why it would be better to wait for 10, because I wouldn't be too sure. I feel like there's not many players that I would want in 9 but not want in Game Week 10, I guess. Ward is the lowest scoring starting goalkeeper in the game. That is amazing. That is amazing. He did outscore Sanchez and match Edison this week, though. Can you roll the wild card? You cannot, no. That'd be amazing, though. You could burn it if you wanted to. I don't use stats, I use points scored. Well, points scored is not a great way to predict who's going to score the next lot of points. I can tell you that now. Rashford for Gross. I wouldn't sell Gross, to be honest. Is Diego Costa actually happening? How old is Diego Costa now? Like, we're talking the guy that used to be at Chelsea, right? 33. He's going to be 34 in October. Set for Wolves trial. That'd be amazing. Diego Costa back in the Premier League. I'd love that. Who am I favouring for goalkeeper on Game Week 9 wildcard? Probably Pope or Guaita, I think. Yeah, points scored. I guess it's kind of a stat, yeah. Points scored. Is McAllister a trap? I hate the word trap. How much is he? Yeah, he's 5.5. The thing is, he's going to play every game, but he is very reliant on those penalties, right? He's got one... I think he's had 1 goal, 1 attack and return in 6 games outside of penalties. But if they keep getting him at this rate, it'd be amazing. But I don't think I'd be buying McAllister. My mistake was I did not want to own Haaland because I thought it was a bit boring having the same template players. I know. That's where you got to hold your nerve and just go with it. Like you shouldn't not have players because everybody else owns them. Like Haaland's just a great option and obviously a great captain as well. And that is why I'll not be captaining this week probably. Excuse me. Diego Costa, how much would he be as well? They'd probably price him at like 7 or something stupid. Now, maybe they wouldn't actually. They put Klajcic in at 5.5. If you had James rather than Cucurella this week, who would you bench? No questions, I would play James over Cucurella. I wouldn't even have to think about that. So 53% of you are going to have 1 Arsenal player. I guess a lot of people are going to keep Martinelli. 25% with 2. 0 is only 16%. 3. So people keeping all 3 for 4%. Sterling may be a good shout for Salah. I do like Sterling. I still don't personally think I'll get rid of Salah, but if you really want to get rid of him, yeah, Sterling's not a bad go-to. And also it gives you more money to then spend elsewhere, right? I've got a cough, hang on. Is Salah, Jesus for Haaland, Sterling a good punt? Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have Haaland for sure. I wouldn't want to be going out without him. 6.5 million. Have Salah, Marseille, Gross, and Andreas. A less than £6 million mid. I mean, you could go for Rashford if he's fit. You could go for a 1-week punt on Sinistera, maybe. Oh, you've already got Marseille. Yeah, there's not too many other options, to be honest. I swapped the armband to Haaland because it's just easier to not have to constantly talk about salad, to be honest. I'll just switch it back after the stream. Chicken gravy or fried chicken? What? Why would that be like one of the other options? Do you not need both? Form over fixtures at the moment. Look at Zaha and Mitrovic. Yeah, there's always going to be players that do that, though, right? I mean, how many players have done well because of the fixtures? Not because of form. They've just had good fixtures and done really well. Gross captain. Probably not. Oh, my plan hasn't worked because now it's all questions about Haaland captain, not Salah. Maybe I could put captain on both of them. So sad that Neto didn't live up to the hype. I know, really not good, was he? I got very lucky being able to take him out early and not being punished for it. Not being punished for it at all. All right, okay, hang on. Oh. Right, there we go. In fact, not even first bench. 1.9 in the bank after Gameweek 7. Sterling for Diaz or Salah. And if you can afford it, I would just do it for Diaz. You can't roll more than 2 free transfers, no. Like 2's the max you can have. If you don't use them, you just have 2 the next week. Which of my teams scored the most points this week? I guess Gross has to be Vice. You're only captaining Salah to justify having him. I mean, that's the argument people keep making, but actually I'm captaining him. I own him because I want to captain him. People just don't seem to... they just don't like that. It's like, because he's not doing well and some of us still want to keep him, I see stuff now, oh, they're only keeping him out of fear and stuff like that. If I didn't think he was a captain option, I would just sell him. Or I would just captain Haaland. And I will captain Haaland in Game Week 8. I just probably won't do it this week. I didn't miss your message. I answered it. The one about Sterling for Diaz or Salah. I answered that. We just say Haaland all the time. Look, I don't really know how much more I can say on it. Really, like Haaland's great. Captain him. I don't know what more to say. Salah is finished, but after one game, everyone's after Rashford. This is what I mean. Like, people will create narratives based on the points just scored. So Salah's not scored for 2 games. Is it 3 games now? It might even be 3 games. He's that bad. It's 3 games, isn't it, actually? So now all the narratives come out about the fact he's playing super wide, and the eye test shows that. And there was a really good article by The Athletic that did say he is getting fewer touches and more of them from out wide. So there might be something in it, but it's not like he's just stuck to that line and never in the box, never having shots and stuff like that. So I feel like people try and create narratives out of the points that have been scored or not scored. That happens all the time. Because I think the interesting thing with Rashford, for example, is he didn't play... He did okay, but he didn't play that well as a centre-forward again. I think when Martial's back, he will definitely play ahead of Rashford. And the 2 goals came from when he played on the left wing. So if that's not going to happen in the next game, he might not be the great option. But obviously he scored points now, so people do like him. I mean, I think he's a good option, right? I should say that. But it's very easy to, form an opinion just based on the players that have scored points, right? Yeah, don't get me wrong. Salah was bad against Everton. I get it. I'm not trying to say he's played amazing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just hopeful that he's such a good player that will turn around in a fixture like Wolves at home versus Haaland against Spurs at home. That's it. That's all there is to it. And by the way, I'm not even locked in on captaincy. I should just say that. If it looks like they're going to play... I don't think Thiago is going to be back, so that is a problem. I do think their midfield is an issue. And I don't know if I'm that locked in on it, but I wasn't that locked in last week, and I still did it. And I just think it's a slightly easier fixture. That's about it, really. Rashford has scored 25 and 22 attacking returns, and now he's striker with Ten Hag. He will score a lot. He literally didn't score today from striker position, though. Salah being wide isn't planned. Klopp has already alluded to that. Yeah. I think I saw that quote. I've put Liverpool on the bench because they're finished. They're finished. I'm going to captain Haaland instead. I may just captain Haaland because in some ways, like, I'm just sick of the effective ownership being so high. I feel like if I've captained Salah when Haaland's had Forest at home and Villa away, surely I can't now go back to him when he's got the hardest fixture of the last 3, right? His hardest fixture of the season, you would say. Like, I've actually only captained Haaland once, I think, with Bournemouth at home. That's the only time I've captained him. So I've captained Salah 5 times. So I feel like, am I going to captain Haaland? I mean, it's a home game. But Spurs are going to defend deep. Will they make it difficult? Probably not. I mean, he'll definitely score. I feel like that's the problem with going against Haaland. You're already a goal down before the game week starts because he's going to score. Salah may be off form, but he is that good that as soon as he has a big week, 2 goals and an assist, he will be unstoppable again. He's still only 4 points off the top midfielder. Is he only 4 points? I thought he'd be more than that. He's on he's on 38. Gross at the top midfielder on 42. That's mad. The funny thing is, right? if Salah, also by the way, right? I've had a few people say to me, "Why do you keep talking about Salah and Haaland?" But are they not like massive talking points right now? Not in the stream chat, by the way. But the funny thing is, if Salah keeps on getting points at his current rate, then he'll finish on 240 points for the season. And given his fitness levels, there's no guarantee that he won't play all those games. And if he finishes on 240 points, that'll be his 4th best season out of the last 6. Salah has created 22 chances, twice as many as De Bruyne. Yeah, I mean, he started being... I think it was last year where he started being, like, way more creative. Okay, I don't get that argument that, okay, he's going to score 200 points, but he's 13 million. That makes no sense. He's been 30 or nearly 13 million. Like, I think he was 13 million once before. He's been 12.5, and he scored similar amount of points before. So why is it now an issue? Yeah, don't get me wrong. If Haaland continues on his current trend, he'll get like 425. So you should definitely captain Haaland. I'm just saying that Salah is still doing pretty good for someone that's awful right now. The Liverpool players are on the bench because they're finished. They're washed. They're no good. Yeah, his numbers are... I mean, his numbers are... Like, his goal threat is the lowest it's been out of the last 6 seasons right now. Right now. But again, like, a couple of games ago, it was the same as last season. So it can change pretty quick. Some folk are immune to your sarcasm. It is the lowest form of wit. Who is better long term, Isak or so? I think it depends how long term you think you're talking about, but I think it might be Tony. But I'm not 100% sure on that yet because I think with Newcastle, it's West Ham away this week, which isn't necessarily great. But to be fair, Newcastle are playing really well, so maybe that shouldn't be an issue. Then it's Bournemouth at home. That's the thing with Isak. I think you want him for game week 8 and 9 for Fulham away if you're going to go for him. I think after that, Tony probably is the better option. Because if it's like a shorter term punt, you're getting them in now. I'd maybe even look at Isak. Is Salah dropping performance because of no Mane? Diaz playing more aggressive and not supporting Salah? Yeah, I mean, it could be, but I think it's way too early to know that for sure. Like it's just way too early to kind of come to those conclusions. I'm happy just to wait and see rather than. I don't know. Like you obviously could get ahead of the curve by thinking that is the reason and then getting rid of him, but if you're wrong, then that could really hurt. And I just don't think I'd be comfortable enough to say that is definitely the case and Salah is definitely going to continue on this trend. What I could do is, of course, just captain Haaland and keep Salah in the team and just wait for it to happen. But I'd rather just be on the points before, be on the points for his captaincy before he gets that big haul, rather than waiting until it happens, then captain him for the next game, and basically just going by form, essentially. So I just don't think I'm going to play it like that. Salah's effective ownership doesn't hurt too much because of Haaland captains. Exactly, but if you can get it right, then you get a big rank boost, right? Because everyone's going Haaland. If Salah can outscore him, great. But that's not the reason I would... That is like one thing I would consider maybe, but it's not the reason I will captain. I'm not just going to keep captaining Salah every single week because he's lower owned, but I probably will this week, but I won't in Game Week 8. I will go for Haaland against Wolves away. I think so anyway. Like, Salah has only scored 2 goals so far this season, Fulham and Man United. I don't know how he didn't score against Bournemouth though, seriously. I like Fofana. Yeah, good option, 4.4 million. Captain Salah and bench City defence next game. I don't think you need to... I mean, you could bench City defence, but it depends who you're benching them for, right? I mean, yes, Spurs at home is not ideal at all. But for like my team, I wouldn't go and bench it. I should probably change my team so people don't panic too much. Like, I may well sell one of Edison or Cancelo this week, but the chances are I'll probably just play them both. Would I triple captain Jesus? No, not this week anyway. What are you doing with free transfer? I'm undecided. I really want to get a Man United player in for Game Week 8, but if I also want Mitrovic, it's very tricky to do. And I know people will say sell Salah, but ideally I'd have to do that this week, and I don't want to because I want to captain him. I could sell him in Game Week 8. I just don't want to take a hit. I just don't think it's needed for my team. So that's making it difficult. I think the sensible transfer is to do... It's probably this. Let me show you a sec. Let me just get the team up. Does that work? Yep. So this is my team for this week. So the probable move for me will be Cucurella to Trippier. This website's called FPL.team, by the way. Everyone always asks about that. FPL.team. I'll probably bench Trippier. I don't know. I might play Trippier ahead of Dunk, to be honest. I don't know. Dunk's got the easier fixture, but I'm impressed with Newcastle at the moment. I don't know if I want to bench Trippier. Anyway, that doesn't matter right now, right? That will probably be the move. I think the only way I'll sell Diaz is if I think he's going to be benched, which could happen. I'll keep an eye on that. So I'm not going to make any early transfers. The only problem I have is Cucurella is being sold and Trippier is being brought. And if Cucurella drops in price or if Walker goes up in price, I cannot afford that move. So I have to keep an eye on price changes this week. And because of Champions League, I don't really want to move early. So that's one of the things on my mind. And then, I mean, I could go for a cheaper Newcastle defender, but I probably won't. And then in game... Oh, hang on. Let me just click off that. And then in Game Week 8, this would be the team. So I would definitely play Trippier against Bournemouth. I don't know who... Maybe it would be for Gabriel. I'm not sure. And then I'd probably do Greenwood out for Mitrovic. And I would play him. And I'd have to sell Luis Diaz for a 5.7 million option. I don't even know who I'd go for. Maybe Leon Bailey. Southampton at home, and probably just play that. I don't know. I'd maybe play Gabriel ahead of Dunk. I'm not sure. But then that would be my team for Game Week 8, and then I would just wildcard in Game Week 9. That's like the sensible play, I think. That is the sensible play. And don't worry, I would captain Haaland this week. Relax. Newcastle don't play. It's not just because of Newcastle. Newcastle aren't in the Champions League, but if someone else from my team who does play Champions League gets injured, then they become a bigger priority to transfer out. So if I'm doing Cucurella out, but then Cancelo gets injured, then I'd rather transfer out Cancelo, right? I'm not going to bench boost. I mean, it's okay, but I'm not going to bench boost that week. So that's kind of my plan. Like, that's probably the sensible plan is Trippier in this week, maybe bench him, play him in Game Week 8 and get Mitrovic in Game Week 8. I just don't like using 2 transfers just to get Mitrovic in because you're essentially using 2 transfers just to get one player it's just not as good. It doesn't feel as good ahead of a wild card. But Mitrovic against Nottingham Forest just feels too good to turn down. Do you think Bailey can be a nice bench cover? You can basically treat him like a 4.5 million mid, but you can actually chip in if you need him to. Yeah, I think he will be. I think there's probably still going to be some benchings there. I don't think that Steven Gerrard is going to play him every single week, but now he's dropped to 4.7. He probably... I mean, Andreas Pereira is definitely going to play, so he might still be the best midfielder. But if Bailey keeps playing, he is better than Andreas Pereira, I think. So for 4.7, he's an okay option. The sensible plan is Trent out and Anthony in. Yeah. Maybe. I haven't froze. I'm just sat still. For next week, who would you get from the Man United midfield? Possibly, I think Rashford probably is the biggest goal threat, but I'd be tempted by Anthony just for the punt. I mean, Sancho's good too. I think Rashford's probably the sensible answer, but I kind of like the idea of going for Anthony. Would I play Trippier Game Week 7? It would obviously depend on who the other options are, really. Yeah, I like Madison from like Game Week 9 onwards, to be honest. Not captain in Salah. I might be captain in Salah. Okay, I'm going to shoot off because we've been going over an hour. Thank you very much for listening to the Salah versus Haaland show. Yeah, Rashford could be injured as well. Yeah, definitely wait on him. Just wait for transfers in general if you can. So thank you very much for watching. Please do give the stream a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. I'll be back tomorrow with another video for sure. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for all the messages. Thanks for those that signed up as a member. Thanks for everyone that's just been watching in general, hitting that like button, hitting subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will catch you again tomorrow.